इन्हां पैड़ां दा रेता चुक के मत्थियां नूं ला लईए, चलो इसे बहाने विसरियां नूं याद कर लईए।
Today we are going to tell you an exciting aspect of New Zealand history which a lot of people do not know about. We originally from Punjab, which is in northern India, and our forefathers came to this country around 1890. The first two brothers who landed in this country through Australia, they started our journey, which now is almost over 135 years.
ਛੋਟੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਕਦਮਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਇਹ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਥਾਪਤੀ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਿਆ, ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਔਕੜਾਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਹੇਠਾਂ ਸੱਪ ਦੀ ਸਿਰੀ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਫਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਕਾਫਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਬੋਧਨ ਕੀਤਾ, ਕਲਮਬੱਧ ਕੀਤਾ WH ਮੈਕਲੋਇਡ ਹੋਣਾ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਬੜੇ ਫਖਰ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਸੀ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਕੀਤੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਮਰਪਣ ਭਾਵਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਮੈਕਲੋਇਡ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਸੀ, ਉਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ।
As it's well known that the Punjabi, the Sikh soldiers fought in the First and the Second World War, and it was in the First World War that some of our soldiers came in contact in Gallipoli with the Maori battalions that had gone there to fight. So that was the first interaction that is actually recorded. So a lot of these early settlers who came to New Zealand actually worked out in the outbacks of New Zealand, in the King Country, in the Waikato, in the Wanganui area, clearing bush and pioneering this country.
You know, I was always intrigued. Why didn't they stay in Auckland City? Why didn't they go to Wellington? You know, why didn't they go to the main centres? But it just kind of truly answers, you know, for the fact that they looked very different. They weren't equipped with the language skills, the cultural innuendos, and also what they were doing back in Punjab, which was hard labour. That's what we knew best. We've been, you know, doing it on the land for so many years, centuries. So when they came, it was the land that attracted them. And Taumarunui, the King Country, the Wanganuis was the stomping ground. And we, you know, hear a story of you know, families from Te Aute Ka working through and making their fortunes in a place just like that.
Today we are here in Te Aute Ka, a land of wars. This town has a deep connection with the early Punjabi settler who arrived here in 1920. There was a small farm used to call Hindu farm, which has provided them a food, shelter, and also helped them to find their temporary jobs. Among those early settlers, there was a person called Pammi Bai, who worked hard around this town, and his legacy still kept by his family over 100 years.
जट पंजाबी दोस्तों सन्मान पंजाबी होण दा हाँ जट पंजाबी दोस्तों सन्मान पंजाबी होण दा अज ढोले माये नाम दे।
My name is Joginder Singh and our goat is Gunnar. I was born in New Zealand. My father, Guru Singh, was born in New Zealand, and my dada, Pammi Singh, he was one of the first settlers to come here in 1920. And he was also one of the very first settlers to bring his family out and settle his family here as well in 1925, because he said, if there's a paradise on earth, I think New Zealand is it. And he was so grateful about that. When my grandfather first came here, he went to the farm we visited today, Hindu farm, and that's where they found work for them. So he went scrub cutting.
1920s, Inder Singh Mahasha bought a farm near Kihi, and that place became the first stopping point for many Punjabis where they could relate to people of the similar background, struggles, and there was work. So that farm, in fact, was the seed provider for many, and my great-granddad was one of them. He actually first came to that very farm to work and find his way before moving to Tamaranui. So many of them, even it just stayed with the family for a very small time, only for about 4 years. But it was a pivotal point for many, the first stopping point, and provided impetus for them to find a new way in this part of the world.
But when they came here as young men and they started cutting scrub, or jad khwara barte sige, their hands started to bleed because of blisters. So they ripped their turbans in half, made a bandage, but still kept on working. And they said our hands were sore, but we weren't going to stop because we were here to make some money and to start a life, which they did. My father was involved in rugby. He was president of the local rugby club, then he was president of Waikato. And when they renovated the grandstand, the town fathers came to us and saw my brother and I, Amrit. We'd like to put his name on the grandstand because he did so much. And we said, we don't have an issue. That is a great honour for him and us as a family. And that's how the name became Guru Singh Grandstand.
ਟੀਆ ਮੁੱਟੂ ਦੇ ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡ ਸਟੈਂਡ ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਗੁਰਦਿਆਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਟੈਂਡ ਰਗਬੀ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬਣੇਗਾ।
The Guru Granth Sahib that we've got in our house was brought over in 1925, and my Baba brought it over from India. There probably was some other Granth Sahibs, but then they were given away to Gurdwaras or to other members. But this is, I know, is the only one that stayed in the one family since 1925. My Puaji, her name was Kartari, got married to Saran Singh, and that was the first Punjabi wedding in New Zealand. And they used the Granth Sahib that's in our house at the present time, because that Granth Sahib, my grandfather, organised everything to be done right and proper. And so there was cars on the street following, and there was a band in the main street of Te Aute playing for the wedding procession, which you probably wouldn't get today.
ਪਹਿਲਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਹਿਤ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਬਣਦਾ। ਕਮਾਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਿਆਂ ਸੁਣਦਿਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਏਡੇ ਦੂਰ ਦਰਾਡੇ ਖੇਤਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਿਰਾਸਤ, ਜਿਹਦੀਆਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਉਦੋਂ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਜਾਗਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੰਡਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਹੰਢਾਈਆਂ।
On this farm we've been here 61 years and it was sheep and beef, and as land uses changed we then had a lot more cattle, and then in the latter years we converted part of the farm to dairying, which my son Shan runs. Chop chop. Been here now 61 years because this is the sort of property they were looking for, open sheep and beef country, and so they had the far sight to be here, and that's why the farm's name is Long Sight Station. Lammi soch si ona di. My grandfather died in 1980. We dragged a rock to a high hill above our house, and under that rock we put his ashes. When my father and my mother passed away close to one another, we dragged 2 more rocks up to the top of the hill and put their ashes under. So when you look from the house, you see my Baba's ashes, my father and my mother's ashes, and they can see everything from up there. So one day if we're asleep instead of working, okay, ऐसा सारे घोड़े आंदे सुत्ते हुआ काम क्यों नहीं करते? This is the Parawera marae, and we're close to the marae and the people that use the marae in the local tribe. And here is the grave of Junni Lal, who used to own the shop just over here, and his wife Premi. Now it's quite an honour to have them married right close to the marae ground and not outside, but they were very well respected, and they helped the Maori people a lot, and they did a lot for them, and that's why when they died they put them in close to the marae.
Interestingly, King Country was not the only place our essential vagabonds, our people, found work. A lot of them went right into Waikato, and then further, right into Whakatane, Rotorua, and obviously there was a dense population of Maori tribes in there. A lot of them ended up not only working there, but in fact marrying the local girls, Farma family, the Muncha Singh Basi. It's an example. There's a Singh Pa in Nangonga Toha. My granddad, my father, was used to go and visit the families, and in fact it is a place where a lot of intercultural marriages with the local Maori iwis happened, and Singh Pa and the Khan Pa are prime examples of that.
Rotorua, a vibrant town in the middle of the North Island, and the only place in New Zealand to get a geothermal mud bath. Rotorua play a vital role in Punjabi and Maori whakapapa. Early Punjabi settled in 1920s came in New Zealand and settled in this town. Both groups share an appreciation of storytelling, art and cultures. So today we are here to uncover one of those stories and gonna meet someone who share the same blood and the culture of this history. Kia ora. So today we're gonna meet my brother Thane Singh Laga, so and introduce his whakapapa and all the heritage from his korua too. So tell me about your whakapapa Thane today. So where is your korua from?
Kia ora matua. My korua is from the Punjab, Sunakalan.
Yep.
His name is Sheru Singh Laga.
Very nice. He was a very nice, very kind man. Hard worker. He was a very, very hard worker, my dad. I always remember being young, the people used to take advantage of my father. Being Indian and all Māoris there, you see. And this is out in Matahi. And my uncles and that is in Matahi. And he would cook. He was a good cook. He made the best roti that I've tasted. And they took advantage of him, you know, that sort of. And I get so angry when I was a little girl. They come over when he's done the cooking and that, and they want to feed, you know, eat his thing. After that, they don't really respect him. I didn't think they respected him, you know, because of what he is, what he was, you know. And my uncles and them, a couple of uncles were good to him, but some of them I didn't like.
He came and he worked at White Pine Bush between Awakeri and Tāne. And he worked on a farm. The farm was owned by a milky firma.
From Bundala.
Yes.
Bundala.
So
Yep.
he worked on that farm, and that's what he did, I think, when he first got here. And I don't know how he and my kuya met, but my kuya, you know, would have been in that area somewhere, Tāne or Ruatoki. So they met.
I think
somewhere around there.
I think their village and pa is quite close to in Punjab.
Yeah, they're close.
So that would
Yeah.
have been a connection between.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see now the third generation, fourth generation kids who look very Maori, you know, kids who you would, walking on a street in Rotorua, wouldn't pick that, have got a proud surname of a Singh that has carried on in their legacy from the Muncha Singh Basi's time. So not only we become New Zealanders, but also the legacies carry, and those names, the ones who actually took the risk and made New Zealand a great place to live and work, and a place like Rotorua has got a Singh Pa.
And this is called a kara. And it's what our Punjabi tupuna ancestor used to wear. In times of war, they would use these as a weapon. In olden times though, they were bigger and heavier and harder.
You know, kids can be naughty, eh? And of course, the minute we were naughty, we were Maori kids. But if we were good kids, we were Indian kids, you know. That's what he is to say. No, this is true. No, we're not lying. That's what Daddy's saying. No, well, he didn't want to be buried. I knew that. But, you know, Mum said, well, bury him. I said, no, I wouldn't agree. Had to have him cremated, and that's how I got it done, because of auntie and uncle. And my uncle and auntie Firma signed everything to have his ashes sent back to India. Because somebody said to me, oh, bury him in Matahi. And I said, no. They said, what? No. And it was up to me, because I was the eldest daughter. And I said, no, auntie and uncle can do it. Cremate him and have the ashes sent back to India, to my other brother.
Here is a Japji Sahib. So this is the holy script of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, or holy book of Sikhs. So there's a Japji Sahib recently has been translated in Te Aute Ka. So basically is another good step for the community to getting a more strong bond with the Maori and Punjabi heritage. As you belong to the half Maori and half Punjabi Whakapapa, I think it's important for you or for the kids, for generation, to know the the Te Aute Maori Japji Sahib translation. So what has been written and what they have been followed. Cambridge, the town of trees and champions, also known for its flat land and the dairy industry. Early Punjabi pioneers arrived here in 1900s and later became giants in the dairy industry.
ਉੱਨੀ ਸੌ 20 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸਲ 'ਚ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਫਾਰਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਠਾਰ ਬਣ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਸੀ। ਇਹ ਉਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ੀਲ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸੀ ਮੋਢੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਗੀਨਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਏ। ਗੀਨਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਤਰੱਕੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰੀ ਲੱਭਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆਖਰਕਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਗਏ। ਕੈਂਬਰਿਜ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਓ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਰਗੇ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹੇ ਡੁੱਲੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਅਤੇ ਡੰਗਰ ਵੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ।
Hello, Sat Sri Akal. My name is Jamie Manjot Fateh Singh Taliwal. I'm a fourth generation New Zealand born Kiwi. My great grandfather Sardar Nagina Singh Taliwal arrived in New Zealand in 1913 via Fiji, and he was born and raised in the village Sultanpur, Punjab. We've got a natural, just being a Jatt Punjabi, we've got that, we're just drawn to the land. We've got a passion for the land. It's just something about being outside and in the open space and just having a pride in doing what our ancestors were doing, and that's what we've been brought up on, really. It's just something that just comes natural to us, and yeah, we take pride in it. So this is where we milk the cows. We milk cows twice daily. They basically enter through the cow shed over here, then they flow into here, and then over here you've got a circular yard, so we can hold about 400 plus cows here.
400 plus.
Yeah, 400 plus cows here, and then we can generally milk about 36 cows at a time. So the cows roll up on each side, and we've got the cups over here. We can have a look over here. Farming's the backbone of the New Zealand economy, so it's good that our Punjabi community can say, hey, we're contributing to that, and we've been contributing to that for some time now. So so we take a bit of pride in that perspective as well. Obviously Punjabis have been contributing to the Indian economy for multiple generations, but now we can say, hey, we've been contributing to the New Zealand economy for multiple generations too as well.
After 1920s, the migration from Dawaba, it was very much a man's world. They were coming in groups to actually contract work, and so women, very few travelled with them, and the ones who came had a very, very hard life, lonely life.
My great-grandmother arrived from India in 1925 at the young age of 16 years old. They were settled in the town of Wanganui, and when they got there, there wasn't really much going on in the town.
ਪਾਸ਼ ਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ, ਚਿੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਚੰਬਾ ਉੱਡ ਕੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਘਾਹ ਖੋਤੇਗਾ। 100 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਰਮ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੀ ਦੇ ਲੜ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ 8 ਤੋਂ 10 ਕਿਲੋਮੀਟਰ ਤੱਕ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ। ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਕਰਮ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਸ ਹੌਸਲੇ, ਜਿਸ ਸੂਰਮਤਾਈ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਰਿਆ, ਉਸ ਦੀ ਗਵਾਹ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਅਗਲੀ ਪੀੜ੍ਹੀ ਹੈ।
I think for them they would have felt quite isolated, being in that environment, having no one there really to talk to, and missing parts of Punjab and their life back home, especially their parents and their siblings, and I think it would have been quite isolating for them, but I guess they got used to that environment.
I can really relate to this, listening to a story from my grandma who travelled on a steamer ship that kind of, you were the only soul that carried a young kid, and the food, as she would tell me, she was very unfamiliar with. She cried and cried, and her tears dried up because there was no shoulder to console on.
ਯਕੀਨ ਜਾਣਿਓ, ਮਰਦ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਔਰਤ ਦੀ ਮਾਨਸਿਕਤਾ ਸਮਝਣੀ ਬੜੀ ਔਖੀ ਹੈ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇੱਕ ਧੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਤ ਲਿਖਦੀ ਆ, ਉਸ ਖਤ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਦੂਜਾ ਖਤ ਲਿਖ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਆ। ਸਿਤਮ ਜ਼ਰੀਫੀ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ 3 ਖਤ ਲਿਖਦੀ ਆ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਖਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਮਾਂ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਅਲਵਿਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ।
When my great-grandmother went back to India in 1957, so I don't think she met with her parents because they'd passed on, so it was quite challenging for her to go back and know that her family's not there anymore, and she missed out on that time with them. So 34 years is quite a big time gap from when you come to New Zealand and you go back with, you've got children and your parents are not there anymore, and your siblings have all grown up and married and with families, so it's almost 3 decades. privileged and proud of, you know, my roots, and I think the line of dairy farming, we're just continuing on with that, so I'm really quite proud of that.
Middle of Pukekohe town centre on King Street, there's a lane which is named after Mr. Jwala Singh in 2010. So this lane was opened in 2010 during the first week of celebration of Franklin District Council Heritage Week. The reason was Jwala Singh was the first Indian to buy the commercial property in Pukekohe.
My father is originally from Punjab, India, and he came to New Zealand in 1912, but he had to go to Fiji for 7 years because he lacked English.
So they were going to Fiji as part of the original law that was brought in 1910, that you are to actually write, speak, or you know, converse in any of the European languages. So you can imagine that a lot of them who couldn't speak a word of English had to travel to Fiji and then go to many of these churches, learn the language, and then you know, make that journey to New Zealand. A lot of them did.
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਫਿਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਨਵੀਂ ਮੰਜ਼ਿਲ ਦੀ ਤਲਾਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਸ਼ਰਤ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਦਾਹਰਨ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜੇ 100 ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਬੋਲਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ 4 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਸ਼ਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਭਾਵ ਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਫਿਜੀ ਭੇਜ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੱਜਣ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ ਇਹ ਯਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ। ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਅਤੇ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਇਆ ਫਿਜੀ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਵਧਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਭਾਈਬੰਦਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਦਦ ਬੜੀ ਕੀਤੀ। ਉਸੇ ਮਦਦ ਦੇ ਆਸਰੇ 1920 ਤੱਕ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਇਹ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਲਗਭਗ 200 ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਈ।
He went to Aotearoa, where they cut scrub, milked cows, and at that time they had no vehicles. They had to do it all by hand, and they had to walk up the hills to go and milk the cows. They had water pumps to drain water. They had to cook outside. It was a difficult life for them. But then he came into Pukekohe, where he bought some land and began to go into market gardening.
Okay, so this land over here, Jot, all the way through to where you can see that house and the shed was my grandfather's land. You can see the original homestead and the shed. That was probably in 1938, around about there. Our family home here at Victoria Street, every weekend there were Punjabis, Gujaratis, Europeans that would come for advice from him. He just was a magnet. And the sheer fact that he didn't know any English was just astounding. He just had one of those sort of, how do you describe it? I don't even know the word to describe it, but he was a visionary. He just had that vision. People just identified that, and everything he did was very successful, but very humble, extremely humble.
One who got married to our pioneer family, Jwala Singh, Gagan Singh, who actually got his name from the ship he was born on when his mother, along with the family, was travelling to Fiji.
He was very proud of that, and obviously he got British citizenship, registered boat, and that probably followed his legacy all the way through.
Became a very prominent community member, in fact advocating Fijian and Sikhs, but also for the wider Punjabi community, and on a multicultural inter-community, interfaith dialogues, he became a key figure and contributed immensely to our community identity and our advocacy.
But that was the type of guy he was, the man he was. To give you an idea, I didn't know, but he was a life member of 6 different organisations. I didn't know that. Trade union, JPs, all sorts, right? The things he did in the community was just phenomenal. And to give you an idea, he had the largest attendance of any, to my knowledge, any Indian funeral in New Zealand. This is my father's original 1957, I think, zunned up 3-stage motorbike, and I've kept it because this was the original bike he used to use travelling around and going to work, and he hurt himself one day when he fell off it and hurt his knee quite badly, and since that day he wouldn't let me buy or ride a motorbike. And then when I started my engineering, I did the motor up and just used it around our farm, which he wasn't particularly impressed with. But a bit of history there, and I've kept it and I absolutely adore it. One day I may restore it. But and then back on the day, GBC and Company, we were the commercial growers. The Ford tractor were sponsors because we had Ford equipment. So we were commercial growers, and then whilst we were growing, we set up 2 retail shops with Singh's Vegetable Company. So we had that, so we were very busy during that period. And then obviously we got out of that, and I've only kept a few bits and pieces, but they're memorabilia, but they mean a lot to us.
Pukekohe provide Jwala Singh and Gagan Singh with a home away from home to thrive. Yet the town also carries a dark chapter in its history.
ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਕਾਲੇ ਪੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਾਲੇ ਪੰਨਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਣਦਾ, ਅਜੋਕੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਕਸਰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਪਸੰਦ ਮੁਲਕ ਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਰੇਸਿਜ਼ਮ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਸਹਿ ਲਿਆ।
And Pukekohe was a place where a lot of our Gujaratis and Punjabis faced firsthand that discrimination. Discrimination working in the fields, not allowed to get their hairs cut, you know, and are being made to sit in the bottom in the cinema halls. All of that led to many struggles.
There was a lot of pressure from organizations like the White League, which became quite pronounced in the mid-20s. And one of the things that the Indian community and the Punjabis in particular was they formed associations to meet and overcome these discriminations. And that's where the country section here was actually formed in 1926 in which my grandfather also played a prominent part. They made representations to the government, and eventually in 1927 some of these organizations which were discriminatory and racist in nature, they were banned.
ਖੈਰ ਹੀਰੇ ਜ਼ਮੁਰਦ ਨੀਲਮ ਗੀਟੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਨੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ, ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਮੁੱਲ ਆਖਰ ਅੰਦਰ ਦੀ ਰੋਸ਼ਨੀ ਦਾ। ਹੋਇਆ ਇੰਜ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਮੁਸ਼ੱਕਤ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਇਹ ਨਸਲੀ ਭੂਤ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਦੇਰ ਟਿਕ ਨਾ ਸਕਿਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸੇ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦੇ ਖਾਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਸੋਨੇ ਦੇ ਕਣ ਤਰਾਸ਼ੇ। ਆਪਣੇ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਨਦਾਰ ਰੰਗ ਭਾਗ ਲਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਉਸ ਧਰਤੀ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ ਮਹਿਕਦੇ ਚਹਿਕਦੇ ਤੇ ਟਹਿਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸਰਦਾਰ ਗੈਂਜਸ ਸਿੰਘ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬਣੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਈਨ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਮੈਡਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਵਾਜਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਇੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਰਿਸ਼ਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਾਣ ਹਾਸਲ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਫਸਰ ਬਣਿਆ।
One of the first questions that was asked when I was recruited for the police was, "You're a Punjabi Sikh, what does that mean?" I said, "Well, we're from Punjab, we're a warrior race, we wear pagadi, we have the kirpan and the ganga and all the rest of it." And they said, "When you join the police," because I had short hair there then, "will you want to wear a pagadi, you know, a pagadi?" I said, "Yes, on certain occasions." So that was interesting, and through that conversation it opened the door for them to feel more comfortable with Punjabis, whether they've got pagadi or not, to join in. And now it's normal. Now I think there's a half a dozen at least, you know. So I'm quite proud of that. They opened the door, but there was definitely a lot of challenges. I remember as a young child being at the opening of the first Indian Hall in Pukekohe. I think it was called the Nehru Hall, in which my grandfather was present. I also remember when the first Gurdwara was opened in Tirapa. And so some of those memories are vivid memories of our community in this country.
My name is Puspa Lekanwala and I'm the president at the moment of the Auckland Indian Association. The association has been going for 104 years and this exhibition is from 1920 to 2020. So it's a 100-year exhibition. At that time, there were people immigrating to New Zealand and they weren't treated very well. There was a lot of discrimination happening as well. So I think at that time, the people all got together and thought we should form associations so they have one central voice. And it also helped to retain our language, our culture, and everything that we stood for from when we came from India. My grandfather arrived in 1920 as well, and he came with my father and my uncle. My father was 11 years old at that time, and he went to school here, not in Auckland at that time. They settled in Tikawiti. My father actually went to a tailoring school here in Auckland and trained himself up before he went back to India and got married, and then he came here in Ponsonby Road and opened up a tailor shop.
We stand on the shoulders of the giants. What they achieved, what they did, what they struggled in those early years, they pioneered their way. Not just working, they cleared up the land so the others can find a livelihood for generations to come. And kick-started many businesses till date are serving the communities, keeping many homes going. So I truly feel that their contribution is immense.
ਚੰਗੇ ਭਾਗਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਸ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਾਡੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਮਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਹੀ ਰਵੇ। ਪਰ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਕਿਤੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦਾ ਰਸ ਲੱਭੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹਨੇਰਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਨੂਰ ਬਣਦਾ, ਤੇਰਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਬਣਦਾ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਨੇਰੀਆਂ ਰਾਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਿਛਲਾ ਸਵੇਰਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਆਇਆ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜ਼ਿਹਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਬੁਨਿਆਦੀ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਨ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਂਝੇ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਦਾ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਿਆ, ਆਪਣੇ ਪੇਕਿਆਂ, ਸਹੁਰਿਆਂ, ਦੋਸਤਾਂ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਈ।
We do feel that we deserve more funding and resources to actually track down and do more research on our community, which is a part of the New Zealand community now, to trace those 135 years and many aspects of it which we would like to cover in future. And I'm pretty sure that the general public would need to know more about us as well.
While researching and filming these stories, we encountered many souls who moved us to tears and gave us a deeper appreciation of life. We hope to uncover many more stories in the near future.
Living in Auckland, where now the majority of the community is, I've been living in Papatoe for the last 25 years, and Papatoe's become truly home to Punjabis.
Papatoe Library holds the largest collection of Punjabi books in New Zealand and actively promotes diverse languages within the community.
With a growing community, I truly feel our future is bright.